The Bible takes for granted that in this world we will have trouble, we will have discomfort. Now look at Paul. I would think, I would ask, what is he talking about? Paul, the mightiest, the miracle worker, the most powerful. He is not complaining, but he is giving a perspective. He is giving us a perspective on how to go through realities of life without losing our hope, without despairing, without, becoming depressed. And how not to let our lives be wrapped, that our focus is tuned on the surroundings. He is telling us that here on earth we're going to be pressed on every side, but we are not going to be crushed. I took particularly interest in the word "not forsaken." He says persecuted but not forsaken. You know what? God has not promised a life on earth that has no pain, that has no difficulty, that has got no shortage. God doesn't promise us that. But there is one thing He promises: I shall never leave nor forsake you. Okay? And that is the perspective here Paul says. What do then these things, what purpose does persecution serve? What purpose does, persecution, shortages, pain, rejection, what do they serve? They serve the purpose that we see in chapter 4, verse 7, where he says, we have this treasure in earthen vessels, so that the excellence of the power may be of God. Right? And so he is saying, he is not disputing, there is no question whether we have treasure in ourselves. We have that treasure. But for that treasure, the power of that treasure to come, to become real, to manifest, then we need to go through these things with conviction that we are not forsaken. Because the first thing that comes to our mind when we go through challenges is, where is God? When you have been praying about that situation and it has not changed, and you have done everything you know and the situation is getting worse, what is Paul tells us? Yes, we are persecuted, but we are not forsaken. We are not forsaken. And that is the assurance we need to cultivate as we walk. The only thing that will help us to face life with confidence, regardless, walking with God is knowing that He is there, regardless of the situation, regardless. And while that is happening, God is using the circumstances to refine us. Many times we look at people that God uses and we wish God would use us like them. Yes, He could use us like them. But are we ready to go through the pain they have gone through? Are we ready to go through the affliction that they have experienced? Because the more we walk with God, the more we allow the environment to shape us, the more we allow the environment to work on our character, the more we shine, the more the treasure becomes refined. The Bible many times uses fire, and it uses the picture of the refiner's fire, and the way gold and silver would be separated by fire through the refiner's fire. Okay? And the Bible is using that, referring to the nation of Israel and referring to us, and saying that, to get the best, you must expose, iron ore. Iron ore and gold, all of them are mined from the ground. And to bring them to a shape where they are valuable, you got to put them under fire, where until it melts, and the clay, the mud is separated, right? Otherwise, it remains. Before it can be silver, before it can be gold, it has to pass through the fire. And so the earlier we come to acceptance that God is at work, we are His treasure. The problem is we are still carrying some clay. We are mixed. There is clay. You might know Mabali. No, Mabali, like inside there are traces of gold. There are traces of silver inside us. That's why we must be afflicted. That is why. I'm still wondering, why couldn't Paul cast these things out? Cast the devil of perplexed, being perplexed. Why could he pray and the circumstances changed? Interestingly, Paul never prays for himself for circumstances to change. No one of the prayers is he praying that circumstances may be changed. I don't even remember, you remind me, Bishop, I don't even remember Paul praying to come out of prison, to be delivered out of prison. Because Paul understands, in or out of, I'm not forsaken. I'm with God. He is here. In other words, Paul understands that we bring God to the environment. Right? We bring God to the situation. He doesn't come. We don't get there and then we invite Him. We walk with Him there. In fact, at times, He has just designed we walk through there so that He may be seen there in that environment as He refines the gold in us, as He purifies us, as He glorifies Himself. And so, my brother, my sister, may you be encouraged this morning. May you embrace what God is doing in your life. May you not waste your fire. Don't waste your fire. Let it burn out whatever it needs to burn out. Because when you are through that situation, you will be shining like gold. Your value will have increased. Your value will have increased. Believers that grow and change to have impact in their community, in their environment. There are those people that come into town. When you have walked, I know most of us, and this is a very difficult message to receive and to accept, because they start to cry from within. I want a miracle. A miracle. God is saying, well, I want this, and I want this, and I want this. But on the other side, that is also right. All of us want a miracle, and I want a miracle. By the way, I want many miracles, and I want many. In fact, I need more miracles that you do. God has mercy, and I know God does that. But as I have walked with God in my personal experience for this last couple of decades, as I've walked with God, I have found there is much joy. And that victory, the greater the battle, the sweeter the victory. Amen. The more intense is the situation, the greater the joy when I get over it. Bwana asifiwe sana. And I have come to a point where I have stopped praying for things to change, for circumstances to change, but I have started praying for grace to excel in the midst.
Amen.
I have stopped to pray for a job. Okay? Now, I'm not asking you to stop praying for a job.
Yeah.